Alright, ladies and gentlemen, since I, again, not here, I know I'm missing a bunch for track, I'm going to walk you through the next one. We're going to do the hanger clamp. It's the one in the middle and to the left. We'll finish the bracket tomorrow, but I'll go through this one because I know not everyone's at the same spot on the bracket. So again, hanger clamp is the one we're doing. In case someone doesn't have headphones and can't hear what I'm saying. In that case, blah 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 blah. Hanger clamp. Alright, for this one, gonna start out the same way. I'm gonna start with the front view being the edge. Alright, so it's 1.5 inches. Then it angles. This one goes back to a 45. So I'm going to come down here, change it to a 45. On the 45, this middle section is 2, another 1.5 inches. I'm going to use offset to make the thickness. It is 0.187 thick. Offset, offset, offset. I'm going to close in the ends. Now where it bends, here I'm going to use trim. Trim them back. Here where they are short, I'm going to stretch one out. And then I'm going to use extend. Click on the long one, click on the one, hit enter, then click on the one I want to extend. And I'll just use trim that little nub back now. Alright, so at the beginning of my front view done. Now I'm going to do my top. Bring up one edge, bring up the opposite edge. Again, if you just typed in the 1.5 inches, the 2, and the 1.5 inches, your top view is going to end up being longer than what your front view is. So that's why you have to line stuff up and bring them up. The width is 1.5 inches. Bring this other edge up. Close her in. Now bring up the corners along the top edge. Middle section I'm going to leave alone for now. The two ends I'm looking flat on, so I should be okay with that. I'm going to make a center line, midpoint to midpoint, midpoint to midpoint. That way I can do a center diameter. Make sure I get back to object. Center diameter. Click the midpoint of the center line. The holes are 0.75 in diameter. Select it. You can do the same thing. I just did copy. You can draw it from scratch. Doesn't really matter. Alright. So now I can bring those holes, because that's what they are, cut through. I can bring them down through my front view. I'll also bring down center lines for the midpoints. Lining them up. Alright, so I did these looking flat down, brought them over. Now I'm going to start my auxiliary view. Let me move my top a little bit further up to get it out of the way. I'm going to offset the angled face. Again, first distance doesn't matter. And we're going to do a 1/2 inch. Now, I'm going to do a bigger distance, otherwise it's going to be running into the little foot bottom part here. So offset, again, some distance. I did 1.5 inches. That looks like it should be fine. I offset that one, the width, it is 1.5 inches. I can close in the top and bottom. We'll also bring these 45 up and across. And I'm going to move my top a little bit further up. That way it is out of the way. Alright. Sides are straight, so they continue up to the guidelines I just made. Bring it down, bring it down. I'm going to use trim. Trim the extra off. Now, I'm going to bring where the stuff hits on the top surface to start. Top edge, where the center hits there. Now I'm going to use an ellipse because it's a circle and an angle, so it's going to look squashed down. Because I drew this to here and then the line just going across, I don't have to worry about trimming right now. Midpoint to midpoint, and then I can type in the radius because radius doesn't change. If diameter is 3/4, radius is 3/8. And then I can get rid of these. And the bottom ones, same way. You can bring it over. Spacing is all the same, so I'm just going to mirror it over this midpoint. And I have the one on the bottom. Now, there is going to be a second one for the bottom edge that part of it will be hidden, part of it you'll be able to see. The size and the spacing is all the same. So all I really have to do is bring one guideline up. So I'm going to bring where this hidden line hits on the bottom edge. Take it up and across. Now I'm going to copy this circle and this circle. I'm going to grab it by this top point. I'm going to bring it down. The sides I will connect. And going widest point to widest point. It's hard to see unless you zoom in where they are. Alright, the bottom one. Where the one I copied down is inside of the original, I will be able to see it. Basically, it will be an object line. Where it's below, it will all be hidden. So I'm going to trim the smaller part so I can mirror it, so because it's going to be two different things. So I'm going to change this one to hidden. I'm going to use trim the circle. I'm going to trim that inside part off. Alright, these sides should also be hidden because you won't be able to see them. Alright, so now I'm going to mirror. I'm going to select the rest of that ellipse where the line meets, and enter. Now this top part I will change to object. Now it goes past where I need it. So I'm going to do trim, select the circle again, trim, and trim. So that one is all complete. You can do this other one again by scratch. I'm going to cheat, and I'm just going to use mirror. Mirror will save you a lot of time when you have stuff that is symmetrical one side to the other. Nope. Now it's flipped the wrong way. So all I have to do If I do mirror, select everything, I'm going to do the midpoint of these connecting lines. And this time, instead of just hitting enter, I want to type Y, so it erases the original, and hit enter, and it flips for me. So those are all done. Last couple things, because the same area, bring over hidden line for where the corner is, to there, and where the bend is, here and here. There will be an object, because the tilt, you'll be able to see this corner. I bring that, connect, then I can use these to trim it. Delete, delete. Alright, now in the auxiliary view is where I'll do the little diamond that's cut out here. I'm going to offset down the object line 1 inch. That should be in the middle. Alright, from the midpoint of that line in the middle, this width, it comes over 0.37. So I come over and go back to that midpoint, and it's going to come up 0.5. So in this view, it is not a square, it is a diamond. When you transfer it to the other view, it will look like a square. I'm going to use mirror again. Mirror this way. Mirror both these pieces this way. Delete, delete, delete. Looking straight down on it so everything lines up. So this view is completely done. Now I just have to bring the hidden lines for the edges of that diamond through my front view. Delete these. Then I will bring those as object lines where they hit on the top surface, up and across. Here. Oop. Jump to the wrong spot. And here. Alright. Let me trim these back. Again, width doesn't change, so this is still going to come out the 0.37. Then I can just connect it to the midpoint, if I can get her there, triangle. Again, once I have one, you can draw the other ones from scratch, but it's just as easy to use mirror. Delete, delete. Now again, same with the circles. If I bring one reference point, so I'm going to bring this very top edge where it hits on the back side. I can then take this, copy, and bring it over to there. These two lines will be hidden. I'm going to use trim. This little bit of these lines will be hidden. So reconnect, and then this corner to corner will be hidden, so this one and this one. The inside one would be object, so I'd be able to see that one because of the way it's tilted. Delete that line. Then here in the top, all I gotta bring up is these inside corners here, and they would be hidden. I'm right about the limit of my time.